How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. Yes, we crushed it inside of the private Discord today, and the reason why I'm telling you this, because I want you guys to win as well. Whether you are an investor or you're a trader, I'm letting you know this group is for you. We do lessons every single day, plus I give you guys updates and the right technical setup before you even actually consider getting into a trade, or even if you bring it across for me, because we are a family and I make sure that I got your back. So if you are interested, I highly suggest you check out the link down inside the description. We'll be happy to have you a part of the family. So what we're going to be talking about today is SNDL Sundial growers that ended up having a green day. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. So first, we're going to be going over a news update that came out today that's definitely having an impact on SNDL stock and as well as the cannabis sector as a whole. Then secondly, we're going to be doing a technical analysis, taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance. These are key areas, especially when it comes to formulating a game plan. Then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know, are institutions involved? Are they buying up shares? Are they selling? Hey, it is very key to notice because this will give us a good idea what we can look forward to, especially going in as far as for the rest of this week. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get into it. So let's go over the big update that will have a huge impact on the cannabis industry in the United States. So let's jump into it. I'm excited about this. So Schumer to unveil the federal marijuana legalization bill on Wednesday. The leader of the U.S. Senate and colleagues will be releasing discussion draft of a long-awaited bill to federally legalize cannabis on Wednesday, Marijuana Moment has learned. Two sources were briefed on the plans and said that Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Senate Finance Committee Chairman Ron Wyden, and Senator Cory Booker will hold a press conference Wednesday to unveil a preliminary version of what's being titled the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act. Details of the proposal's provisions are not yet available, but the purpose of the draft being released is to spark conversation to inform what will be a formal introduction of the bill at a later date. Advocates have been anxiously anticipating the legislation, which Schumer has repeatedly said was coming soon after he, Wyden, and Booker first pledged in February that it would be ready in the early part of this year. Since then, the majority leader has been making the case for reform everywhere from the Senate floor on 4/20, April 20, to a cannabis rally in New York City. Beyond ending prohibition, Schumer said the proposal he and his colleagues are working on will ensure restorative justice, public health, and implement responsible taxes and regulations, similar to what New York lawmakers sought to accomplish in a legalization bill that the governor signed into law this year. I will be including a link inside the description. You can read more of this article, but this is definitely some great news to hear and will have an impact on the industry as a whole. And of course, SNDL will be able to benefit from this. And I know you're asking why. SNDL is a Canadian company, but you need to understand it trades on the NASDAQ, and we want to know this term. I want you to really cement it in your mind, especially when you're in different plays. Rising tides float all boats. SNDL is in the cannabis sector, so if cannabis stocks are running up, SNDL is going to be able to get benefits from this, all right? So now let's jump into the technicals. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for SNDL Sundial growers. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at 87 cents, being up 1.20%. On the low, it tested 86 cents, and then on the high, testing 92 cents. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, we had 101.096 million. And as far as for the average over the past 10 trading days, it's usually around 97.804 million. So higher than usual for today, which was good to see. Now, when we take a look at our chart, we're using the 1-year daily chart. Our indicators, you can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 44. So yes, we are in the oversold territory. When we see our indicators on the chart, we have strength above the 200-day. We are below the 21-day EMA. And of course, we are below the 100-day. But we did come close close to actually getting past the 21-day EMA, but one thing to be aware of, this is now an area of resistance here at 93 cents. Like I said, it got to 92 and then retreated. So one of the things we want to look forward to is seeing how well SNDL can hold up in this mid 80 area. Like I was saying previously before in the past, you guys remembered as far as for the 200-day, we are seeing it starting to move up. SNDL is showing stronger price action, so now we're seeing it at 79 cents. So anyone who's playing off of these fluctuations is probably looking to actually see if it hits the 200-day, and of course you want to make sure you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room here, and then you'd want to play the bounce back up. But also there are many who are actually in this play right now waiting for that move to go to $1. So that's something to keep in mind, but I do see there will be some resistance here right at this 100-day at $1.03, but of course with a lot of buying volume and the right catalyst, SNDL can definitely get past this area. But one thing we know, and I'm going to keep saying it on this channel, just know this $1 area is a psychological area, so just keep that in mind. So as far as when you see this, or if this is the area where you're looking to exit, you want to make sure you have a limit order in place. Just don't watch this and so forth. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for SNDL. So we can see here on the inflow we had 27, and on the outflow we had 29. We had 16 on the medium, and we also had 10 on the small, and of course this is in the millions. Now, as far as for the outflow, we had 0 on the large, medium we had 18, and then small we had 10. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, it is completely 0. There have been no large scale orders whatsoever. So what does this mean? Not a lot of institutions are getting heavily involved. They might be purchasing small or medium orders, but none of them are going large. And this is something I feel like you really need to understand and take a grasp of, especially if you are inside of this play. So as far as how the rest of this week is concerned, we know whatever happens on Wednesday is going to have an impact on the sector. But you know what? We'll talk more about that. Let's jump into the final thoughts. So for my final thoughts for SNDL, Sundial growers, we know already it's definitely going to be an interesting week. We already know about the call options that expire on July the 16th. Are they going to allow SNDL to finish above $1 or even gain momentum above that? Like I was saying, you know what? I could definitely see some manipulation to actually keep this stock down. These market makers are not trying to be paying out in regards to these options, okay? But at the same time, you never know what could happen inside of the market. And especially with the catalyst that we have going down tomorrow, as far as the news and the updates and also the progression of that meeting, you just never know what could happen. So if you are inside of this play, I just want to make sure that you have a game plan. And I also know there are many of you that are asking me, all right, so when should I be taking profits? When is the best time to get out of this play? So if you don't believe in the long-term prospects, I'd say you want to keep an eye on that $1 level. This is a psychological level, and there's also going to be many people that are going to be planning to sell in this area. We also do know there is resistance at the $3 level, right around the 100-day moving average. So taking everything into consideration, I think the best setup is to make sure that you have your limit sell ready. You don't want to just be looking at it all day waiting for this to happen. Just put it in there. You can go about your business, do whatever you want to do. And if your order gets hit, then your order gets hit. Now, I feel that's the best way to go about doing it. And also watching it all of the time, I don't really feel it's healthy either, especially if you're holding a heavy position and you're just looking to get out of the dollar. Just set it and forget it. And like I said, there's definitely, and I'm going to say it's very, very soon that I could see SNDL getting back to that $1 range. How long it plans to stay there, of course, we don't know that. But at the same time, I just want to make sure you're aware of that and you're also keeping yourself prepared. Also, when I was taking a look at Fintel, of course, SNDL does continue to have short squeeze potential. And as long as the price is continuing to rise, we already know shorts are going to be interested and they're going to want to pound this stock back down to where it was in the low 80s and even going down to the 70s. But of course, I see that as an opportunity, and that's when I'll be planning to take advantage. But of course, we've seen shorts getting burned on many different occasions. So like I said, I'm not saying that, you know what, it's just going to pull back from here on out. But as far as short squeeze is concerned, SNDL does have that. So if you have increased buying volume, I'll be looking forward to seeing a strong move to the upside. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.